Wow, 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 wow. Good morning, my powerful MB family. This is your girl, Miss Bev, with yet another video all the way from Connecticut. Guys, it's good to be back here. Didn't do a video all this week until today. I'm just going to say happy Sabbath all in one. Today I'm just going to talk about the truth about returning to Jamaica. What it is that people hide, what people don't want to talk about, what people won't tell you. So I'm going to take this moment to thank all my new subscribers. I just want to welcome you to the MVP family. Thank you, Master Cola Smith, for, just giving me a shout out and encouraging folks to come over and support Miss Bev. We're 22,000 plus, but 22,000 is great, guys, but please, we got to watch the videos. Remember, my videos are not action-packed. They're just informational videos, upliftment, encouragement. I see some of you have found the community postings and are really, really appreciating it. So, guys, go over there for your dose of daily upliftment, of daily reminders of God's goodness to us, that we don't have to struggle alone, but that He still cares. So head over there, guys, and like up the postings and just show your girl some love. So this morning I got up, I said, let me do some notes. I've been really thinking hard about my experiences as a returning resident who rented. And as I said before in many videos, those of you who are just coming on, I've done a whole series on returning residents. And it has its own playlist. So you could watch them if you get a chance. When I went home to Jamaica, I was excited. I love the sun. I love, there was so much that I love about Jamaica. But today, as I spent the year and have the experiences after being away for so long, I just want to talk to us now about my experience. So listen, July 26th last year, I came home to Jamaica. And after 43 years of living in America and 27 years of teaching, and this wasn't a decision we made lightly. The children, we all met, children, my husband, and we decided that instead of buying somewhere, because I'd sold my home, I was getting ready to sell the house. We're in the process of selling. But instead of just jumping and buying a home in Jamaica, we decided that Mommy, go home and rent first instead of just buying. I agreed, and we chose a gated community just because we hear about all the crime happening in Jamaica and all of that. So we decided to do the gated community for safety and peace of mind. And even though we already have a house in Springfield, St. Elizabeth, so now I've completed my 1-year trial and I've made my decision. I didn't renew my lease, guys. If you see me, if you're watching this video, I'm sitting right here. Right, currently I'm at my son's home in Connecticut. We're still looking. We're looking for a condo. Once I decided I wasn't staying, we were looking for a condo. I'm older now. I'm 65 and counting, and we don't want another huge space. The space we had was too much. Once the kids are independent for so long. Two of us have this big house. My brother was with us as well, but he was only there for working. Once work is over, he's back in his house in New York. So it was just two of us in 4 bedrooms, a huge finished bathroom, basement, huge, finished, 3 bathrooms. That's for people with a lot of kids, and it's not just for 2 people. And so we're looking for something reasonably small, very I don't want a lot of space. So we have options. We have the senior citizen 62 and over spaces. I don't mind that because they're already equipped with hand bars and stuff like that, walk-in showers, so you don't have to be climbing up over anything. So those are things that are in my mind now. What I'm looking for now is comfort. I'm looking for peace of mind. I don't want chaos. I don't want to worry about snow to be shoveled anymore and paying out huge sums of money to get snow moved, or watch my husband out there in, oh my God, in the bitter cold pushing a snow blower, shoveling snow. That's behind us now. We've done enough of that. And so um, that's where we are. So I'm right here sitting with the grandchildren and my daughter-in-law, my son. My daughters are not far, far, far away. And so I'm giving God the glory. So let's be honest about Jamaica. Let's just really be honest about Jamaica. First of all, I think I'll do a different video about the rental process in Jamaica, what my experience about the rental process. Jamaica is beautiful though, no matter what people say. The waterfalls, the rivers, the oceans, it's beautiful. Where I live, we had a beautiful view of the ships coming in to dock in Falmouth. We watch them leave. We watch, it has its perks, But to be honest, beauty alone doesn't pay bills, and it doesn't make life easy. I remember one person commented some long time ago, and I talk about volunteering, but then when you look at the car fares back and forth every day, I'm not going out to make a salary. I'm going out, paying out money to just go help people. And the person said, well, seems like you're not ready for Jamaica. Foolish talk. Foolish talk. I was more than ready. I had a good budget for Jamaica. I went through that budget like, psh, 20,000 a year is no chicken feed. I don't care who we are. 20,000 1 year in Jamaica is no chicken feed. A lot of it was given away, but it's still a large amount to go through in 1 year. So you look at the cost of living, that is shocking. I had, as I said, we had space, 4 bedrooms in Connecticut here, right? Finished basement, 3 bedrooms. We had central air in the house. And at no point during those years that we have that comfort have I ever paid over $200 for electricity. Never happened. In Jamaica, the small 2-bedroom home that I lived in, I was paying between $38,000 and $47,000 a month. That's at least almost $300, more than $300, right? And then for what? For what? I didn't have space to do any little vegetable gardening because, as I said, we planted stuff in the back and the soil wasn't the type of soil that made anything prosper. And then we bought a bag of our own soil from the hardware place, from the farmer's store. We got a few cucumbers, but nothing to write home about. The tomatoes, we got a few, but nothing exciting at all. The peppers didn't even come. We left 2 pineapples there. I left 2 pineapples that were still green in a pot. We bought 6 pots to plant things in and then to transfer them. It wasn't. In Jamaica, you're thinking of good soil where you can have a little garden. It wasn't my space, but in my head, those are little things that were like encouraging me to want to be there, planting my own little things, going out there, picking a tomato, cooking it. I think we got like 6 tomatoes out of all of them that we planted, right? So food prices are out of control. A lot of things are weighed and sold. It's not like before you pick up like a pineapple and you pay, say, people will just tell you, give me so-and-so because of the size. Everything is weighed in the skin. And so those are shocking things to me. Everything. You're buying cooked food in the store, in the restaurant, it is weighed. How are you going to weigh food? You buy a 20-pound bag of rice, or You can make so much money out of a bag of rice and 2 whole chicken curry and enough gravy. And yet they weigh everything and sell it for so much. So the essential costs for food, a lot of it are doubled up or even tripled depending on where you're shopping. So much more than you would pay abroad. And yet the salaries in Jamaica can't even compare. So you go home and everything is US, US, US. Everything is now because so many people returned. And people don't want to talk about these things. They want to make it look like, oh, Jamaica is nice. Come home, Jamaica. In the beginning when I went home, yeah. But as things start adding up, you start seeing that this is not a joke anymore. Jamaica is beautiful, yes. So people hiding the truth. And we know that many people are returning quietly to America or back where they came from. A lot of people are returning. I remember there's a family, the Jams fam. I don't know what parish they were in, or I thought they were in Ocho Rios area, but it seems that no, they were in they were somewhere. They spent 2 years and are going back. They returned. There are other people down there, people who they rent in the gated communities. You go down to especially one of them, the yards are filled with grass, high grass, because people are gone. People are gone. People have left and they want to rent the space and they want to make into Airbnbs, and they don't understand that there is an influx of Airbnbs. You're not going to make that money like you in your head if you just go buy it and turn it to an Airbnb. It is tough. Because if you're not getting the rental, what are you going to do? So it just seems like how unkempt some of the yards are when you drive past them. It just seems like people are just gone and they're not getting the business that they figure is going to be there. Just more water than flour. There's much, much more water than flour. And so they buy up these little places. Where I lived, the mildew comes right around the overhang, right there, right around the house. Mildew until it was coming in on the veranda. And I reached out and I asked, I'm not giving my landlord any bad names because I cannot. She got things done. But when the mildew came and she was kind of saying, oh, I've been there and, it's not. No, I said, no, it's mold. I said, no, I'm not going to sit here and inhale mold. Not going to happen. You're paying over $1,000 a month in rent. Not going to happen. So she did send somebody, but I ended up paying, which she never paid back, but it's okay. Maybe she just forgot and I didn't ask again. Yet she got somebody to come and wipe it down and, and stuff like that. But it's the reality of it. And you would just imagine people who left and are not able to have people who are overseeing their property. You have some people who have people sitting there who maintain the yards and get the grass cut and get the things up in a good stance. But there are many yards left, many yards left there. So it is real. And I'm telling you, many are afraid to say it because they were so into, Jamaica the best, knowing them, and they cuss off the places that put the monies in the pockets to buy these homes. And in the end, it's not as sweet as it looks. It's not as sweet as it looks. The crime is still there. People are still being robbed and things like that. And when you look at how they deal with things, I know someone who was punched in the face by another guy, and when he reported it, the police laughed. He said, "Nothing come out of that." So my question was, what, people have to be bleeding before something come out of it? And even sometimes they're bleeding and still nothing come out of it. So the corruption and those things, they're real in Jamaica. They're real in that small island. It's not sugar and spice and everything nice. They're real. People are living. If you've never left, if this is all and you're built up from day one, it's a different stance. If you are just returning after many years abroad and pitching your tents, it is different. I'm telling you, for me personally, it is different. So after a year, I realized something important. Jamaica is home in my heart, but it doesn't mean I have to suffer to prove my love for this island. Sometimes the dream of coming home is sweeter than the reality of being there. So I don't regret when going home to Jamaica. I learned, I gave back, I even made a difference in Kayla's life, but I also learned my limits. And I'm not ashamed to say, sometimes going back is the wiser choice. To every returning resident or anyone thinking about it, don't just listen to the pretty stories. Don't just listen to those pretty stories. Do your homework. Count the cost. Spend time in Jamaica before a permanent decision. And remember, loving Jamaica doesn't mean you have to lose yourself in this struggle. Because the struggle is real. Don't ever think that it's not real. So what about you? If you have returned, what has your experience been? Let's have a real conversation in the comments, because the truth needs to be told. Don't sugarcoat it. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. There's a woman who I was driving with one of my drivers one day, and he was sharing a story about a woman who employed a girl to help her. And she set up with somebody to come in and rob the woman. They got $40,000. And I was saying to him, $40,000? Somebody would rob somebody for $40,000? And his response was, Miss Bev, you stay there. People will rob you for any amount. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking, I said, look at that. Look at that. For $40,000, you are sitting there working with somebody who's giving you a paycheck or giving you funds each week for the work that you're doing, and you bring somebody in. Luckily, they didn't take her life. But that's how it is. You can't trust people. You're working with them. You have to do some pretending in order for to feel safe. People who say that they have rented from people, and when it's time to get their refund back, they can't even get that back. They can't even get their refunds back. And for me, I was very nervous. I mean, because one of the things, when I was supposed to get my refund, remember, you rent the space, and I will talk about this in another video. You rent space, and in the contract it says that your deposit will be placed in an account, right? And in an account. In my contract, there was no interest on my $2,100, right? Because if you rent unfurnished, it is 1 month security deposit that they have to put on. If you rent a furnished, this is what my person said. This is what must happen. This is then you have to put 2 months down. Mind you, the things that are in the space that you're renting is not even valued at $500. I mean, they're used. They are not things that or they just bought them in there for you. They're used. They're not strong, lasting stuff. But they hold on to all this money. And in the end, she and I almost had a big thing, because I was thinking for the last month I was going to live out one of the security. And then she had one, because the $1,050 would still, if there was any damage. She came to the house. I had her walk through the house while I lived there. And I said, I don't destroy people's things. I take care of people's things, And Yet I said, let me live out one because I plan to leave now. I don't want to be leaving and then I have two and I can't get anything back. Let it be one. But it became a big thing because she said, no, 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 it's 2 months security and da 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 da. Then I'm breaking the contract and all this people, whatever, whatever. Luckily, she put a clause in for late, never been late. I've always paid more than 1 month's rent at a time. I've always paid before the date. And so I'm saying to her, I said, well, it's going to have to be late. And she get into a ding and thing. So I said, well, in your contract, it says I have 5 days. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was saying that. No, I said, lady, I said, I'm paying you your money. I just want to make sure that when I'm to get my deposit back, I get it back. No, I was able to pay it. And the problem for me, people you're going down and you're renting, I'm going to talk about that in depth, but listen what they want. Nobody wants Jamaican money. Everybody wants it in US currency. When I went down, it was 150 for one US. When I left there, it was like 160 or so. But who benefited? When they're renting US currency and the currency changes, they're getting more in Jamaica. They're getting the drippings. You have nothing to gain. So that 1,050 that I paid each month, if when I started out it was 150, say 151,000 or 155,000 a month. When the thing goes up, just think of the fact that when it went up $10 more, that $10 and she got that 1,050 US times 10 more. So she makes that, she's making that money. But what got to me, and I said, all of you going down there, and I say rent before you buy, I don't know what to tell you because experiences are different. I know people have left down there who have not yet gotten their deposits back because money is money. And if they are renting and using your money to do things which should have been in an account, then just know that it might happen that when they need to pay you back, they don't have it to pay back. So when things were said like, okay, when we do the walkthrough, you'll get your money back. The walkthrough date changed. When she came, did the walkthrough, she was telling me, oh, she's going to give this guy the money to bring, and I give him the key. I don't know the guy. Are you going to even think that you could give him monies to bring to me? I don't know him. Then she said, that Sunday, she would give it, here's the guy, he would bring it, and I give him the key. I said, no. Then she said, what did she say? She said, okay, well, the utilities have to be up to date and what have you when I paid. She came Sunday, Wednesday, half a day. The utilities were fully cleared. Everything was paid before time because I had like 10 or how many days to pay them. I paid them up. Waiting, I said, I'm waiting. Nothing. She said, oh, well, she's going to be going through whatever. I said, so I got frustrated. And then she said, well, you pay your rent in the US, so it is there. Your money's out there. But that should not have even been in the conversation because my security was supposed to be aside. It shouldn't be the monies that I pay each month for rent that you're telling me no, my security is there because I pay the money in US currency every month. So where's the 2,000 you were supposed to have, 2,100 set aside for my security? So when you pay, guys, you have to be on your P's and your Q's. You have to be careful. It is not easy. It is not easy. And so, again, for each one, it's a different situation. It's a different setting. But whatever your situation has been, if you've been a renter, if you have gone through whatever, please let me know in the comments. Just talk to me. Um, if you have returned, what has your experience been? Have you returned and then decide that you need to return to America, or how is it? How has it been? So again, I love Jamaica. I gave back. I made a difference in Kayla's life. But love doesn't mean ignoring reality. Living in Jamaica is expensive, it's frustrating, and sometimes heartbreaking. Sometimes if you don't have your own transportation, it's not easy. And again, you have your own transportation. And let me tell you something there. So every time I see them, you create 3 lanes of traffic on a 2-lane street. It just bothers me of how many people they run off the roads and because of these bad behaviors. So for me, going there, I'd never drive. Never drove in America. I had my license for many, many, many years. So I would never drive in Jamaica because the conditions there, I don't think I could handle it. And so I'm done pretending it's all paradise. I've learned my limits, and I'm true, and I've chosen peace and overpressure. To anyone thinking of returning, count the cost, please. Count the cost. Don't listen to people's stories. Don't listen to mine. You have to experience it for yourself. But count the cost. Spend time in Jamaica before you decide. Loving Jamaica is easy. Living in Jamaica is another story. I don't care. A lot of people are hyping it up because they probably probably sold their homes and they have no one left there, and they spent everything in Jamaica. Some people build up these grand houses. We're old people. We don't need grand houses. How much, there's a guy from is it Manchester or St. Elizabeth? From St. Elizabeth. He's somewhere out in Nain or somewhere out there. And he goes up with the drone and he shows how much his brother has and how much. We're not taking it with us. In our late years, we just need to be comfortable. We're building up these big old something, and we alone living there every day. It just shows our insecurity. Like it just shows that we're not content. We can't find contentment. We'd rather build all of this wall, and we wouldn't even give a neighbor or find a little child and say, let me help them with the school fees. Let me help them with some car fare each month. But while this grandstanding, big old concrete things where children don't want what we have anymore. Children don't want what we have. They want their own. What we liked, they don't. I remember when I had my RAV4 and I was telling my son, you could take it. It was almost paid off. I said, you could take it, son. You're moving to your own home now. You were the one driving it the whole time. Take it. He says, Mommy, what you like, that's yours. You like RAV4s, I don't. And surely enough, what he liked was Benz. He worked, he can pay for it. More power to him. So we don't need to be building as it's for my children, because the children, if you have something, give it to them so they could go build for themselves. Mama have, Papa have, blessed is the child who have for themselves. And so I say, as we go, don't look to go overboard. Look for peace of mind. Look for peace of mind. And if you can, like I did, help a child. Last night I spoke to Kayla. She was saying, Grandma, I'm eating strawberries. And I'm so happy inside, because I gave them funds to get stuff for her. And so when the lady I spoke to, Mama, and they got her book list. And as I said, I left the funds, her book bag, her books. I left more than enough to get all her books, her book bag, and a little snack kit. So it made me feel good. And she told me, she said she gave out the uniforms, the ladies sewing 4 uniforms, 4 shirts for her. And so it's 10,000. She paid down 5. I said, all right. I sent her the 100 US. I said, pay for the uniforms. And what's left, she has it for bus fare, to, whatever she wants to do. It's up to her. But pay for her uniform. I just want the little girl to continue to progress. And so whatever I can do, I'll do it. I'll do it, even though I'm all the way here. But we still have Western Union. We still have all of them little stuff that we can still support. So as we go home, guys, and as we make our choices, again, your experience will be different from mine, but more power to everyone. No hard feelings. I experienced it after many years. I think, if Granny was alive, I would have been right up under her arms, and I wouldn't have to be in a gated community because I would feel comfortable with them, my family. Now that my family in St. Elizabeth are no longer there. There's probably a cousin here or there left in Springfield, but nothing to talk about. I think maybe one cousin up there. So that's not the place for me because, again, it's just what it is. I left there when I was like 14. So it's no real stuff there. So I'm back home where it belongs. I listen to my grandchildren. They read, hear them upstairs. And it's a good feeling until I find a suitable spot for myself where they can come and run wild and do the thing and just grandma in the morning say, wake up, grandma, how are you down there? It's a good feeling. Family is a good feeling. So build your families, guys. Have good relationships so that when things like this happen, you have a place to come back to. Don't create stress and strife, and then you're left in spaces where you can't manage, but you have to stay there. Create good relationships wherever you go, and so that you're going to be all right. So again, big up Michelle, my mobile market lady, and your husband and little Avi. Much love to you guys down there in Jamaica. Thank you for being who you have been to me, and it's just how things work. So if you can be good, be careful. Work good, do good, live good. Big up Mr. Cole Smith for sending people over to my channel. And again, guys, just watch the videos, like the videos, leave your comments. Positive comments. Leave your comments, and Miss Bev will respond to you. If you can be good, be careful. Work good, do good as we continue onward and upwards always. Bye.